situation here. Mother is going to pass. And we're just seeing at the end of her life, even in the state that she's in, even on her deathbed, there's nothing but concern for others there, and allowing devotees in to see her, and all of those things. We see that all the way to the end, that she never placed herself above or before anyone. Attachment invariably brings pain. Ordinary people are attached to their family and their friends, their money, their possessions, home, and other things. So it is painful for them to leave this world when the god of death summons them. Ramakrishna explained, entangled creatures attached to worldliness talk only of worldly things at the hour of death. What will it avail such men if they outwardly repeat the name of God, take a bath in the Ganges, or visit sacred places? If they cherish attachment to the world within themselves, it must show up in the hour of death. While dying, they rave nonsense. Perhaps they cry out in delirium, turmeric powder, seasoning, bay leaf. While dying, they think of their wives and their children and weep, alas. What will happen to them after my death? They will wonder. That is why ordinary people marvel when they see the death of a deathless one, an illumined soul. Holy Mother began to make herself ready for her departure from the world stage by cutting off all ties and attachments. Swami Sharadananda once remarked about the Mother's greatness and power. I have never seen such attachment, and again, I have never seen such detachment in my life. Brahmachari Gopesh, later known as Swami Sharadeshananda, described the Mother's spirit of detachment. I was very much surprised to hear that the Mother's remark about her dead brother. Just a few days earlier, Uncle Bharata Prasad had died. Holy Mother was extremely grief-stricken and cried profusely, but she overcame that grief very quickly. When I went to see her, she said to me without any emotion, "My son, did you hear that Bharata passed away?" At first, I failed to understand whom she was talking about, because it was beyond my imagination that she could relate that news of her dear brother's death without any grief. Noting my vacant look, she said, "Fudis, father, from Jairambati." I was very sad to hear the news, but greater than my sadness was my astonishment at her lack of emotional attachment. The devotees observed that Holy Mother was becoming indifferent toward her relatives and family affairs. One day, a devotee said to her, "Mother, your health has deteriorated badly. I've never seen your body so weak." She replied, "Yes, my son, it has become very weak. It seems whatever work of the Master that was to be done by this body is over. Now the mind longs for him only and nothing else. Just see how much I loved Radu, how much I have done for her happiness and comfort. But now my mood has changed. When she comes near me, I feel disgusted. I think, why is she here trying to drag my mind down? The Master kept my mind down all these years with these family ties and attachments to his own work. Otherwise, would it have been possible for me to stay in this world when he left?" Holy Mother was very fond of Gauri-Ma, and she lived with her for some time during her stay in Dakshineshwar. The Mother initiated Gauri-Ma's adopted daughter Durga, who later became Gauri-Ma's successor and head of Sri Sharadeshwari Ashrama. Toward the end, when the Mother was weak and had no inclination to talk, oops, somebody's trying to get in. Here comes Ritu. Welcome, Ritu. Hope you're still doing audio connecting. Hello, Ritu.
Pranam Swamiji.
Yes, we're on page 739 at the top.
Okay, thank you.
Holy Mother was very fond of Gauri-Ma, as she lived with her for some time during her stay at Dakshineshwar. The Mother initiated Gauri-Ma's adopted daughter Durga, who later became Gorima's successor and head of the Sri Sharadeshwari ashrama. Toward the end, when the mother was weak and had no inclination to talk, Gorima and Durga visited the mother every day on their way back to their ashrama after their bath in the Ganges. Swami Ishanananda wrote, "Every day Gorima would talk to the mother and fan her a little. Today Gorima went upstairs as usual and bowed down to the master. But when she came down to bow down to the mother, she said, 'Don't touch me. Why do you come every day to bother me? What for? What to see?' At this, Gorima was shocked and said in a pained voice, 'Mother, you are ill and bedridden. We have no peace of mind. We want you to be with us all the time, but we want to be with you all the time, but we don't always find the leisure, so we come to see you once a day.' The mother replied, 'What do you expect from me? I can't put up with any more irritation.' Then, observing Gorima's sad face, the mother said, 'If you come, don't enter my room. Just look at me from outside the door. Don't make me talk.' Gorima was stunned, and tears trickled from her eyes. The mother did not say anything more. Gorima remained speechless and left that day with tearful eyes. From the next day on, Gorima sat every morning for an hour outside the mother's room. Watching the mother and weeping silently. Come on. She then left after bowing down to her. The mother noticed this, but did not relent. Some days Gorima and Durga would come to visit the mother in the afternoon and leave after inquiring about her health. Holy Mother had not been able to get good drinking water in Jairambati, so a devotee gave money to dig a well. The well was completed after the Holy Mother had left for Calcutta. Swami Parameshwarananda sent the first water taken from the well in a bottle to Calcutta through Brahmachari Hari. Holy Mother joyfully drank a little water from her birthplace. Hari said, "Mother, Brother Kishori has covered the floor of your room with concrete. The next time when you come to Jairambati, you will not find any difficulty." Holy Mother replied, "Why did Kishori remove the mud from my room and pave it with cement? I love my mud floor. What was the need to do all of these things? Does Kishori think that I will ever go there again? I won't live there anymore." Thus, she severed her connection to her sweet home, Jairambati. Now came Radhu's turn. Holy Mother decided to tear the last bond of Maya. Some days before her passing away, she said to Radhu, "Look here, Radhu. I want you to return to Jairambati. Don't stay here any longer." Then she told her attendant Shalala, "Tell Sharat to send her to Jairambati." Shalala asked, "Mother, why are you sending them to Jairambati? Will you be able to live without Radhu?" Holy Mother said firmly, "Certainly. I have withdrawn my mind." Shalala reported this to Yogan Ma and to Swami Sharadananda. Yogan Ma went to the mother and said, "Mother, why are you asking Radhu and others to leave?" Holy Mother replied, "Yogan, she shall have to live at Jairambati hereafter. Hari is returning there. Send her and the others with him. I have withdrawn my mind. I don't want her here any more." Yogan Ma objected, "Mother, don't say that. If you detach your mind, how shall we live?" "Yogan, I have cut the chain of Maya." Holy Mother responded, "No more of this." Yogan Ma could not reply. She reported the whole thing to Swami Sharadananda. He said with a deep sigh, "Now it will be impossible to keep the mother on earth any longer. As she has detached herself from Ratu, there is no hope whatsoever. Shalala was there. He said to her, "See if you can direct her mind again to Radu." But the effort was futile. Understanding their intention, the mother clearly said, "Know once and for all that the mind which has been withdrawn will not come down again." Holy Mother's mind was soaring high to the infinite, so the world of Maya became distasteful to her. Swami Ishanananda recorded the mother's mental state at that time. The mother said to me, "Why did Ratu, Nalini, and others not go to Jairambati with Hari? You take them back to Jairambati. None of them needs to stay here." When I informed Sharat Maharaj of this, he could not decide what to do. We could not figure out why the mother was asking Ratu and others to be sent to Jairambati, especially Ratu, whom she loved so much and could not bear separation from. Even while she was ill, she looked after Ratu and her son. Mother was now so irritated with her nieces that Nalini and others were frightened to go near her. Helpless, Maku wept in a quiet corner. Nalini said, "If our presence hurts our aunt, then we had better go away to our village. But I don't know that what our village people will say. They will criticize us for leaving her at this time." Sharat Maharaj tried again to persuade the mother and said, "Mother, these girls feel bad at the thought of going away when you are so ill. Let them stay a while. They will go back to Jairambati when you recover a little." The mother persisted. "It would have been better if you had sent them away." "All right, but let them not come near me. I do not want to see even their shadow. I have cut all attachments." Meanwhile, it was necessary to send the Brahmin woman, the caretaker for Ratu's son, back to Jairambati. Yoganma suggested, "Let Bharata go for a couple of days to take her home." The mother said, "How can the work here be done without Bharata? Also, he is very young and won't be able to take her home carefully. Ask Rajan to take her home. Bharata can teach weaving at Nivedita school as his substitute for an hour every day. If he teaches in the afternoon, it will not be much of an inconvenience." From the next day, according to the mother's wish, I went to the Nivedita school for some days and showed the girls how to weave. Like other days, after lunch, I was one day alone with the mother and stroking her feet. Ratu was sleeping in the next room with her son. Waking from his sleep, the boy crawled into the mother's room. He came near her bed and was trying to climb up on her chest. Seeing this, the mother said, "I have gotten rid of all attachments for you. Go, go away. I have no attachment to you, to any of you. You will not succeed any more." Then the mother said to me, "Bharata, pick up this child and take him to the other room. I do not relish this any longer." I picked up the boy and took him to his grandmother. This is quite a teaching passage here, because you can see the level of our own attachments and how it has distorted our thinking. You know, that here, this mother of love, we think, "Oh my God, she's stopped loving." No, she hasn't stopped loving. She has stopped the narrative. She has stopped with the noise, that these are bodies and these are people and that there's such a thing as death, and that, all of these things. She's let go of all of that narrative, and understands the nature of things, that all of this was delusion from the beginning. None of it was real, and that it only played out through attachment, right? Through a holding on to things that are temporary, things that will pass. And so we hear these words and we're like, "Oh, how cruel," right? But the cruelty is in playing along. The cruelty is in playing along as if we are special to each other because we know each other, because we've been in the same place together a few times, that these things run deeper. It's like anything that's built on anything other than the oneness of our divine spirit is unreal, is delusional, right? And to break that delusion at the end, it's really a favor for the mother, because there'll be less pain all around. And she knows that she will, that this unification, this oneness has always been the reality, that everyone there is just a part of her and she's returning to the whole. And so there is no loss whatsoever. And so she's preparing her mind for that exit and doing nothing more than what nature will do anyway, a complete separation, a complete letting go of this world. And it's hard. It's interesting to watch my mind as I read it. Here I am. I never even met Holy Mother that I know of, and my attachments have grown so much that I'm sitting there reading. And then when I hear her, when she said, I've snapped all, only then was I able to come to my senses, and even that just a little bit, of being so emotional over something that is so much a part of life and so much an unreal part of life, that any sadness is born of ignorance in it. That she didn't die, she didn't go anywhere else, she could never die, and is a love, that even can be even affected by her story 150 years after her passing, or 100 years after her passing, that still we fall in love with Holy Mother, and this lesson of what love looks like at the end, when detachment is necessary, when facing the truth of this lie of Maya, and no longer sentimentally absorbing it and giving room for it and inviting it in, right? We watch Mother's detachment here and we're thinking, oh, that's so mean. You should be nice to that person, and why? Because we have mercantile minds, right? All those people are being nice to you. You should be returning the niceness to them. But Mother is loving them in a very deep way right now. She's teaching them how to face what they're going to have to face. She's leaving. The body is dropping. She does not want any sentimentality from them. She doesn't want them to see it as real. They want her to remember her detachment, to remember her walking away before it was time, so that they would understand. There's nothing here to hold on to. There's nothing in this world to hold on to. Prepare your mind for detachment. Be strong in it and go forward. That's her message there. And imagine how hard that was. Everybody that she has been loving for this entire book, that she's been concerned about and serving and taking care of and just opening her heart again and again. Now, to close all that, bring it to a point and say it's finished. All right. Very difficult period, very difficult, and amazing self-control, amazing mind control, that she absolutely made no room for sentimentality, made no room for her delusions, for her stories, shut them out and shut them down, to leave free, right? It's incredible. It's a real learning bit just to read that and see how my mind was what I was doing. I was just watching my own mind, its own attachments, what it was clinging to, even by just reading about this in here. Fascinating, our situation. This is what it takes. During one of her previous illnesses, Holy Mother had remarked, "Maybe I shall have to suffer again like this." Thus, she indicated that she would be born again for the good of humanity. This time, she created a bond of illusion with Radhu so that she would continue her divine play in this world even after Ramakrishna's passing away. Holy Mother's last words to Radhu were, "I have cut the string. How can you bind me? Do you think I am a human being?" Radhu later said to Akshay Chaitanya, "I knew the mother was my own aunt. I never knew that she was a goddess, but thought that she was a human being." You see, there's one of the things that she taught Radhu right there. There is a saying, one knows the value of a tooth only after one loses it. Afterward, Radhu tearfully understood whom she had lost. A few days before she passed away, Holy Mother said to Arupananda, "As one tears a straw, I have torn my attachment for Radhu." Arupananda said earnestly, "Mother, you can live if you wish." "Who craves death?" came the quick reply. Holy Mother had surrendered her will fully to the divine will and seemed to be awaiting the Master's final call. Again and again she said, "I shall go when the call comes." handing over responsibility. Holy Mother's condition was deteriorating quickly. Her body was thin and emaciated, and it appeared to melt into the bed. The physicians gave up hope and told Sharadananda that those who wanted to see her should come soon. Monks and devotees began to flock to Udbodhan from far and near. 5 days before Holy Mother passed away, a woman called Annapurna's mother came to see her. She stood at the door, as no one was allowed to enter the sick room. When the mother turned on her side, she saw Annapurna's mother and motioned to her to come near. She came in, bowed down to the mother, and said with tearful eyes, "Mother, what will happen to us?" In the feeble voice of the compassionate mother, she said to her, "Why should you be afraid? You have seen the Master. What should frighten you?" Then she added very slowly and softly, "Let me tell you something. My child, if you want peace, then do not look into anybody's faults. Look into your own faults. Learn to make your world your own. No one is a stranger, my child. The whole world is your own." This was Holy Mother's last message to humanity. Shalala Smut recalled, "Toward the end, Holy Mother became like a little girl and would frequently say, 'Let me go, let me go.' One day she said to me, 'My child, it is time for me to go.' When Lalit Babu came to see her, the mother said to her beloved disciple, 'Lalit, let me go.' Lalit Babu said, 'Mother, we are giving you too much trouble that you want to leave us?' The mother replied, 'No, my son. How can you give me pain and trouble? Whatever work the master assigned to me, that is done. What else?' Lalit said tearfully, 'Mother, if you depart, how shall we live in this world?' The mother replied, 'Why should you be afraid, my son? The master exists, and he will look after you.' Thus the mother reassured her disciples before leaving the world. When the master's altar was on the east side of her room, the mother had slept with her head toward the master. But when the shrine was shifted to the third floor, she lay with her head toward the Ganges, which was to the west. At about 8:30 in the morning, 2 or 3 days before the final day, Holy Mother asked Vibhuti Ghosh to call Sharadananda. He went downstairs and said, "Maharaj, the mother is calling you." "I'm coming right now," said the Swami. Vibhuti hurriedly went upstairs and saw the mother's eyes were wide open and unblinking. He told her that the Swami was coming. She asked Vibhuti to fan her forcefully. Sharadananda came in, knelt on the left side of the mother's feet, and was about to stroke her hands when Holy Mother caught the Swami's right hand under her left hand and said, "Sharat, I'm leaving. I leave Golap, Yogan, and others behind. You look after them." Saying so, the mother immediately withdrew her hand. Swami Sharadananda controlled his tears with great effort. Well, goodness gracious. Controlled his tears with great effort, got up, tiptoed backward, and left the room. Holy Mother enacted her divine play on this earth for 67 years and 7 months, and her main stages were Jairampati, Kamarpukur, Dakshineshwar, and Udbodhan House in Calcutta. Who were the main characters in her drama? Her noble parents, her greedy and selfish brothers, her dependent and helpless nieces, her unstable sister-in-law, Shalabala, and her difficult niece, Radhu. Ramakrishna and his disciples, especially Vivekananda, Brahmananda, Yogananda, Trigunatitananda, Sharadananda, Adbhutananda, M., Girish, Nag Mahashai, and other devotees, her close companions, Yogin Ma, Golap Ma, Gauri Ma, Golap Ma, Gopal Ma, Lakshmi, and Nakunja Devi, her own disciples, including Arupananda, Ishanananda, Sharadeshananda, Parameshwarananda, Keshavananda, Gaurishwarananda, Vidyananda, Vidyananda, Virajananda, Pravrajaka Bharatiprana, Sarajubala, and Sudhira. By her Western devotees, Nivedita, Sister Christine, Devamata, Josephine MacLeod, and Sarah Bull, Sagar Santra, her robber father of Telubelu, and his wife, her roofer Amzad, a bandit, a bandit, a bandit from Shiromanipur, the actress. The thing that I find so touching right now is not so much the mother's going, but look at this list of people. I mean, these are some of the finest people that you'll meet. And they were that way because of the mother, because of her love and because of her light. And you look at the list here, and it's people from all walks. you know, she's even including the dacoits. you know. Blessed are these people and other nameless disciples and devotees who are the supporting actors and actresses of Holy Mother's divine drama. It is through their interaction and dialogue with Holy Mother that we are able to visualize her play vividly even after nearly a century. Swami Arupananda, an attendant and disciple, described Mother's last days. All efforts seemed to be futile. The mother's disease advanced day by day. Her temperature would rise 3 or 4 times a day. The excessive bile secretion during the fevers gave her a terrible burning sensation. The mother would say, "I would dip my body in the cold water of a pond covered with algae." We would place our hands on some ice and then pass them over her body. When her temperature was high, she sometimes lost outer consciousness. It was summer. I brought some ice from a distance. When I returned, I saw that the mother was restless because of the unbearable burning sensation. I covered that chunk of ice with a cloth and placed the mother, excuse me, placed the mother's hand on it. Getting some relief, the mother cried out, "Oh, Rashbihari, where did you get such a wonderful thing?" Those who had cool bodies, the mother would touch when she felt the burning sensation. After going through this prolonged illness, she became like a little girl. She was tired of lying down all the time. One morning she asked me to hold her and to help her sit. Shalala was there. We put several pillows at her back and helped her to sit, and we passed our hands over her face, her hands, and her feet, which made her calm. In the morning, I used to collect information about the mother's physical condition before I went to the office of the Ayurvedic doctor. She never forgot to tell me, "Before you go, have your lunch, or it will be too late." When the Ayurvedic doctors, Kaviraj Kalibhushan, Kaviraj Ram Chandra Malik, and Kaviraj Rajendra Nath Sen, visited her, she asked us to serve them refreshments and sandesh, mangoes, and other things. When Dr. Kanjilal, Dr. Durgapada Ghosh, and Dr. Shyampada Mukherjee came to check her condition, she inquired about their welfare. One day, the mother's 2 disciples from Arambagh, Prabhakar Babu and Manindra Babu, came to visit her. She talked to them with a feeble voice. "How are you, my children? Shall I live? I can't eat anything. I feel weak. My brother Bharata has died. Then she asked, "Have you gotten any rain?" Manindra Babu replied, "No, mother, we did not get any rain." The mother asked, "Will you get prasad here?" Manindra Babu said, "Yes, mother." Manindra Babu had sent tender palm fruits, which have a soothing effect, for the mother through Ramani, a woman devotee. The mother said, "I don't remember when Ramani came. I was not conscious because of the fever. Please tell her not to mind." When Swami Shantanananda arrived from Varanasi, the mother asked, "How is Latu?" She heard earlier that Latu Maharaj was not well. Latu Maharaj had died, but no one had told her. Mandakini and Shalala served the mother wholeheartedly. When the mother was healthy, she was reluctant to accept anyone's service, so no one got a chance to serve her. One day after having her meal at 11 o'clock, the mother was lying on her bed on her side. I began to fan her so that she could sleep comfortably. After 5 minutes, the mother told me, "My son, no more fanning is necessary. Your hand is aching." I said, "No, mother, my hand is not aching. I shall stop when I have pain." After a while, the mother said with closed eyes, "My son, your hand will get pain. Please stop. I am going to sleep." Still, when I did not stop, the mother said, "My son, my sleep is not coming, thinking that your hand will get pain. Stop fanning. Let me sleep without worry." Finally, I stopped fanning. The mother was quiet. I did not get a chance to serve her for more than 10 minutes. Do we need to point out the obvious that somebody comes to bring her some food, some fruits, and she's passed out from a fever, and she thinks back and is sorry and apologizes? Please tell her I was sorry that I wasn't conscious. Come on. That's that's the heart right there. The captain of the last scene in the Mother's Divine drama was about to drop. Kala Azar consumed her life slowly over a period of months. The doctors lost hope. The devotees kept hope alive till the end, but no one can withstand providence. Swami Ishanananda left a record of the mother's last days. Sister Shalala, Mandakini, Brother Rasbihari, and I were sharing the responsibility for the mother's care. Mahamaya Mitra and the girls of the Nivedita school, Gadai, Malati, Shulata, Nandarani, Paki, Mira, and Sudhira, fanned the mother by turns. Brother Rasbihari took care of the doctors and the medicine. Someone brought fresh milk from Dr. Kartik's house at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I boiled that milk over a wood-burning stove, adding an equal amount of water and evaporating the water portion. According to the Ayurvedic doctor's instruction, I prepared whey from some of the milk and also barley for the mother's diet. Generally, my duty at noon was to be with the mother and to look after her. When the doctors came, she asked me to give them prasad. Sister Shalala prepared rice and administered the medicine and food at that right time. Mandakini washed the mother's clothes and cleaned the utensils in the room and fanned her. M sent his wife, Nikunja Devi, to serve the mother. She helped in the kitchen and fanned the mother in the evening. M came to see the mother every evening. Holy Mother's childish petulance went on. One morning she said to me, "My son, don't go away from me. Always stay here. Shalala bothers me very much. Always the same stick, thermometer, and the same word, eat." I will not eat anything from her hand, nor allow her to come near me. She began to show this annoyance more and more. Sharat Maharaj was worried. In the morning he came to the mother, sat near her bed, took her hand on his lap, and began to stroke her head and to brush her hair away from her forehead. He said to her in a wheedling voice, as if she were a child, "Mother Sarala is very much hurt. Mother Sarala is very much hurt. She would not put the stick under your arm again. This is your eating time. Who will feed you?" Sharat Maharaj said to me, "Bharata, bring the milk in the feeding cup. This time I shall feed the mother." The mother said, "Why should you take the trouble? Bharata will feed me. Bring the milk, Bharata. I will drink it." As soon as I poured the milk into her mouth, the mother gave a start. The milk was a little too hot. "Lest Sharat Maharaj and I feel badly about it," she said, "never mind, cool the milk a little. Bharata can feed me very well." This mood of the mother continued for a couple of days. Sharad Maharaj changed our duties, and Sister Sharala prepared the food, and I and Mandakini fed her. That noon, Sharad Maharaj came to me and called me into his room, and stroking my head tenderly, told me, "Bharata, you are very fortunate. Today the mother on her own took the food from you and thus made you her real attendant. Serve the mother carefully. Learn all the details well from Shalala." At this time, the mother used to eat soft boiled rice, milk, boiled ripe mango, and sugar mashed together. After a couple of days, when the mother's mood became calm, we started to do our work as we had before. As it was impossible for the snow-clad mountain to lose its coolness, or the blazing fire to lose its heat, so it was unthinkable for the Holy Mother to hurt anyone. Sharala mentioned earlier how she was hurt by the mother, and after a while how her wounded feeling melted away when the mother took her head on her bosom as a blessing. Tears flowed from Sharala's eyes as she resumed her usual duties. Toward the end, the mother hurt Sharala's feelings a couple of times, which was extremely unusual for her. We do not know why, but we can guess perhaps. Perhaps Holy Mother was a little irritated by her prolonged illness, or, as Sharala was her main caretaker, the mother wanted to eradicate her ego forever. Ramakrishna smashed M's ego so that he could be the recorder of the gospel. Perhaps the mother hurt Sharala so that she could dive more deeply within her inmost self. Holy Mother knew that in the future Sharala would have great responsibility. She would be the head of her order, the Sharada Mat. Holy Mother had tremendous love for her and faith in her capabilities. In this world, a person shares joy and success with those whom she or he loves most, and also tries to release their stress and agony. The mother was tired of eating a bland diet, and she lost the ability to taste anything. One day she asked her attendant to give her some puffed rice and fried gram, which she had eaten in her village as refreshments. The attendant obeyed the mother's order, but informed Swami Sharadananda about it. The Swami knew that this food would be like poison to her, so he immediately went to the mother. When she saw him, Holy Mother hid the bowl behind her back like a little girl. The Swami told her with folded hands, "Mother, I am begging you to give me that bowl." She handed it over without protest. For her own welfare, Sharadananda took food out of her mouth, and this pained him greatly. After Holy Mother passed away, Sharadananda overcame that sorrow by feeding Swami Brahmananda some puffed rice and fried gram. There's an asterisk here with a footnote. Swami Bhumananda's eyewitness account: after the mother's passing away, Swami Brahmananda came to visit Udbodhan house. Sharat Maharaj bowed down to Maharaj and said, "Maharaj, when the mother was ill one day, she was about to eat puffed rice and fried gram. Hearing that news, I went to her, begged that food from her, and did not allow her to eat it. Today I want to feed you puffed rice and fried gram, and thus I shall fulfill my wish of feeding the Holy Mother." Maharaj said with a smile, "All right, bring puffed rice and fried gram, and I shall eat it." Maharaj began to joyfully eat the puffed rice and the fried gram, and Sharat Maharaj tearfully watched, placing both hands on his chest. When Maharaj finished eating, Sharat Maharaj's face beamed with joy. Sharat Maharaj told us many times, "The Master and the Mother dwell in Maharaj. You must know that by serving him you are serving the Master and the Mother." We had a glimpse of truth of this statement that day by observing Sharat Maharaj's satisfaction in feeding puffed rice and fried gram to Maharaj. All right, let's see. We'll read one more paragraph here. Swami Sharadeshananda described Holy Mother during her last days. The mother's health had completely broken down. She could not move. The master's altar had been removed from her room, and she was lying on a mattress on the floor. We had all lost hope and were anticipating the worst at any moment. Early one evening, I went to find that the mother's women attendants had helped her to sit up and were supporting her. With their help, the mother raised her hands and bowed down toward the master. Her beautiful round arms, which had bestowed on us so many boons and assurances, were now reduced to the mere skin and bone. I could not keep looking at them for long. These hands by which the mother had blessed her children served prasad and food to them with love and affection. Now, what awful condition they were in. Those beautiful bangles, which the mother had always worn, had now become so loose that they were tied to her wrists with string. Seeing this, Balaram's daughter had a pair of bangles made fit for a little girl. She put them on the mother's wrists instead. They were with the mother until the very end, and even then, when the last rites on her pure body were performed. Toward the end, monks and devotees rushed to the Udbodhan house from near and far to have a last glimpse of Holy Mother. But they all assembled downstairs because no one was allowed to see her. When Holy Mother's attendant informed her of the innumerable visitors, the compassionate mother said in a feeble voice, "My child, those who have come to see me, those who have not, and those who will come in the future, tell them that my tell them that my love and blessings will be bestowed on each one of them." During her final 3 days, Holy Mother seldom uttered a word and always remained indrawn. She felt annoyed if anyone tried to draw her out. Gradually, she lost the power of speech, and toward the end, she said to Brahmachari Bharata, "Bharata, fan me. Don't go away from me." When Bharata wept, the mother consoled him, saying, "Sharat is here. Why should you be afraid? The Master always exists. He will look after all, here and hereafter." Shalala recalled Holy Mother's last moment. From the morning of her last day, the mother's breathing trouble started. During the previous day, my stomach had been upset and I felt very weak. But Sharat Maharaj asked me to eat rice and soup in the mother's room and to stay with her. Her breathing difficulty was so intense that it was hard to look at her face. One could hear that breathing sound from the first floor to the third floor. Her eyes were swollen. The cause of this horrible suffering was that she had initiated many people without any discrimination and had absorbed all of their sin. The whole of Udbodhan house was packed with monks and devotees. Sister Sudhira and I remained seated near the mother's feet the entire night. Yogin Ma brought a small jar of water and asked me to dip the mother's toe in it to sanctify the water. While she was breathing, I began to put Ganges water into her mouth, drop by drop. Gradually, the sound of her breathing became fainter and fainter, and finally it stopped just after 1 a.m. on the 4th of Shravan, 1327 BE. All right, we'll stop there for the day. My goodness. All right.